The closer you get to the light, the bigger shadow you will cast. Running around in circles until you collapse from exhaustion will only get you so far. It doesn't matter what you want or need. Beg and plead, but unless you give, you will never receive. Sometimes giving means letting go of something. There are dark pits all around us. It's like a minefield. They feel bottomless, impossible to escape. They have slippery walls. Some rise, some climb, some fall. These words are for those who are currently falling or climbing, those who either lost or cling to purpose and meaning. If these words do not resonate with you, then leave. I know who I'm speaking to, and they know me. The dark night of the soul, the valley of the shadow of death. Observe the depths of despair. This is where all thoughts and desires begin and end. You've not only stared at the abyss, but entered it. This is your shadow. Here you will find everything you fear, hate, and desire. The subconscious mind is a garden. A small seed can become a tree big enough to block the sun. You are not these intrusive thoughts and emotions, just as a farmer is not the crops they grow. What are you growing inside you? Do you even know who you are? We turn to distractions and addictions when we're afraid to confront ourselves. Emotions have energy, and the pressure will continue to build up until it bursts out. These feelings and urges do not define you. They can be released, not controlled, not beaten, but released. Your own power has been turned against you. The shadow fights for control. It's scared. It wants to protect, wants to hurt and destroy. The first step is to observe the mind and study it. If you want the external world to change, then you must first change yourself. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You haven't gone far enough to give up yet. The real starting point is actually at the top of this pit. If you want help, then seek and ye shall find. But if you don't put yourself out there, you'll remain trapped inside yourself. You have to risk being vulnerable. Grab a sledgehammer and tear down these walls. Face the world with an open mind and heart. This is going to require honesty and courage. Unless you have a light, the mind can be too dark to navigate. This is where the heart comes into play. We close our hearts because of fear and trauma. We close our minds when we don't want to accept reality. It's yin and yang. There are two fish inside you. The light consumes the dark, and the dark chases the light. One might appear bigger than the other. They may be playfully dancing or trying to eat each other. When you're fragmented, you're only allowing one fish into your pond. You've locked away a part of yourself. A pendulum will continue swaying back and forth until it finds its balance and center, or until something cuts the stream. I spent years fighting and chasing things outside my control. I gave up and spent even more years locked in a room with a pen and paper, searching for the perfect words to leave this world. Neither the light or dark held an answer. I had to start making decisions for myself. And I did something pretty radical. I decided to leave everything behind and move into the wilderness for 6 months. And it was there that I found mentors and guides. They were waiting for me to notice them. I just didn't stand still long enough to see. I rebuilt myself one piece at a time. I found a flame that the external world can't touch. Your story is being written as we speak. Every moment is a new line in the play of your life, of this world. Life is a temporary and fragile gift. The only fairness it offers is death. So embrace this moment, for it may be your last. It's all about perspective, this part of the journey where resolve and courage is tested. You've been led to the darkest room for a reason, for if you manage to overcome this and open your heart to the world, you will become a lighthouse. Everyone is sending out waves of energy through their words and actions. The earth is a stage for a giant improv show. Humans are energy dancing monkeys. Bodies are biological machines. We are transmitters, receivers, and conductors. Fear causes people to create bubbles for security. Most people are products of their social bubbles and environment. Cycles of hate, blame, war, and trauma have repeated for all of history. The characters might be different, but the stories are the same. This destructive part of us feeds on anger, fear and desire. Ignorance, pride, and self-pity allows it to fester. If a cup has a hole in it, it can never be filled. Recognize your role in this show and fix your cup. If you don't, you'll never be satisfied. Pain is a part of life. However, like fear, it can be overcome. I'm speaking of true strength and resilience. You will break and rebuild yourself until you either learn to cope or die. Lessons will repeat themselves until learned. I have a hint for you. Words from men who ventured into the unknown and left waystones for you and me. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Dying is easy, but living is harder. Your legs aren't the only thing that move you forward. These situations feel hopeless. They are dark, painful, and uncomfortable. Most people do not like talking about them and live in worlds of distraction and desire. But the more we talk about our feelings, the more manageable they become. Society encourages disconnection and apathy. Technology seems to advance faster than human nature. It's rare to find someone in the pilot seat of their own life, someone who remains true to themselves regardless of the environment. My mother always called these people game changers. A game changer hops and pops bubbles. They do not allow trauma of the past or fear of the future to stop them from doing what they must in this moment. Game changers have the ability to recognize the game, grab the board, and flip it upside down. You've been placed on the board of a rigged game. The pieces are moving around you, whether you realize it or not. We are flesh and bone. We are only human. The more you attempt to control, the more you will lose. The cause of suffering is attachment. There are things that are worth suffering for and things that aren't. But at some point, we must let go of everything. This doesn't mean abandoning or losing it. It means releasing and giving it back to the universe, where we will all return eventually. It's okay to cry, it's okay to grieve, but it's never okay to be miserable. It doesn't help anyone. When you're miserable, you've already decided that the future is going to be awful. Your eyes will be closed to any potential opportunities and lessons that might be waiting for you to notice them. People like to create boxes and labels. It feels safe to slowly build your framework for reality. Most people reject what appears to be outside the walls they have created if it violates some rule or expectation. These walls and bubbles can be incredibly hard to move. No matter what you do, you will always have some bias in your perspective. You are part of a system attempting to observe itself. We shape and create the external world with our beliefs. Truth always has another layer. Truth is not created, it's found. Reality is the present moment. Everything is happening here and now. Time is an illusion. The past lives in scars, seeds, and memories. The future only exists in your mind. Fate is written in crayon, not ink. This perspective makes things linear. Purpose and reason can be distorted and forgotten. The only thing that matters is how you'll react to the next situation. All eyes are on you for that brief moment. Will you give in? Are you going to give up? Or are you going to discover something deeper and more profound than the fear of this world? Who are you, and which wolf will you feed? There's a spark inside you. It may be buried and repressed, but I promise you it's there. Find it, feel it, nurture it. Society is designed to snuff it out. People may stomp on it and throw water at you. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Just focus on that flame and let it grow. These waves of energy are yours. Allow it to flow and circulate through your body with every breath. These blockages can be cleared. The body acts as a filter. Control is not the answer. The objective here is to redirect and transmute energy, then release it back to the universe. When you're lost and don't know what to do, remember there is a heartbeat that reverberates through all of existence. Follow it, and at the center you'll find love. Unconditional love. Unyielding love. A love that is patient and kind. You are understood, forgiven, and loved. Every baby is born into this world with a spark of that love and curiosity inside them. We are the keepers of the flame. This world is full of wonders to be amazed by. A piece of God is in all life. The Holy Grail you've been searching for has been inside you this entire time. You'll find the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right. I'm ending this here. Remember that words are spells. I wish you all comfort, love, and humor for the remaining time you're alive. Goodbye and good luck.